Let's talk about Flacco first. Let's do that. All right, so
I wish he were 30 or 35.
I do too. It was weird because I was watching this as you were listening to it as well, and it's just Joe looks like a coach when he's standing out there. It's just that little salt and pepper in the beard, and then you look at at Kenny, and Kenny looks like some young country star. I was just watching him pop out there, and they're talking, and both guys obviously can play quarterback, and they do have a little time. Both, even Pickett's got a little time in the NFL already too. They're both, obviously the seasoning is a lot more for Flacco. It's just their demeanor and like I just man, I love the way Flacco looks at the game. Even the line about interceptions. You wish you could be a 6-year-old out there and cry when you throw an interception because you don't want to, but I hope that no one knows what I'm truly feeling when I do throw that interception and it hurts. I mean, I really don't want to. I don't want it. I'm also talking about the conflict of trying to be aggressive but not turning the ball over. I think every quarterback in the NFL has to deal with that. I mean, you want to be aggressive, but you don't want to hand the ball. You got to take care of the football. That's all any coach would ever ask you to do as a quarterback.
And that's been an issue for him during his career. And obviously he knows it. And if he were younger, I mean, you would think he would be the guy flat out, no questions asked.
Right.
He was good in Baltimore. He wasn't great, but he was good. And he was good here, for a very short period when it was a lot of fun. If he were younger, there'd be no question. But if you were younger, he might not even be available to you.
That's true.
So we'll see what happens. I just, Jim in Strongsville said something, and it sounded harsh when Jim said it, but it's exactly the point that I've been making. I want one of the young guys to win the job, because to me, that gives you an opportunity to perhaps have a longer term answer for this thing. And Joe just doesn't give that to you. And to me, if Joe's the guy, it makes me think, well, you're kind of wasting your time letting the 40-year-old start at quarterback. If he clearly is significantly better than everybody else, I get it. If he's not, and I just wouldn't start him. I'd give the playing time to somebody else and see if you might have something there.
So here's where we differ, Jeff. I know we want to sit here and talk about long term, but when have the Browns had a long term quarterback?
Doesn't mean they shouldn't try to find one.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I just think, what is long term in the NFL? If the average career is 3 years for most players, right? What is long term? And if you can get a quarterback that can get in there for 2-3 years and give you the ability to win, get into the playoffs, and have an opportunity to make it to the end, that's all I'm really asking for, because I'm not sitting here saying, oh, well, we've got to find our next we got to find our quarterback for the next 10 years. While it would be nice, it's very unrealistic. We just don't, quarterbacks and across the league, it just doesn't. How long do most quarterbacks last in the NFL? What's the average? So instead of sitting here and trying, for me, I know you think differently on this. I want a quarterback that can go in there and win now. And I'm not really, do I want to worry about next year? Yeah, a little bit, but we've had enough wait till next year kind of stuff. And if you bring in a 40-year-old quarterback that can win and win now and get you to the playoffs and maybe have some success, I'll take it. And it's not, is it a sign of desperation? Maybe. I'll be honest with you, maybe. But the Browns are not an organization or a franchise that can sit here and be picking and go, yeah, let's suck for another couple more years so we can be good for 5 or 10. We just haven't done that. So give me a winning year this year. I'll be happy. And then if you can build on it the next year, imagine if they had all the pieces in place and they had an older quarterback that maybe got them to the playoffs, maybe won a game and then won a game next year, and then they bring in the other piece that helps them get past that. Okay, that's a good plan. I can live with that. Dan comes alive. He is in Frampton. Hi, Dan. How are you? Dan, are you there?
Hi, Dan.
Dan? We gave you a shot, Dan. I'm going to put you on hold. I'll give you a second chance.
I don't know that there is a town called Frampton.
I don't know that there is either. Can you think of anything close to that?
I think Anthony screwed that up.
Okay, well, wait. Let's try this again. Hey, let's go to Dan. Dan, are you there? Nope. Man, I'm striking out. Not a good segment so far. Jerry is in Cleveland. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
Hey, Jer, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself? This is actually Dan from Grafton, not Frampton.
Oh, this is Dan. Okay, so somehow or another the names got mixed up on the line. All right, so go ahead. So it is Dan.
Anthony really screwed that one up.
Yeah, I
nice
don't know.
job, Anthony.
Oh, wow. I'm very sorry. That was really bad.
So wait, let me
Hi,
get this.
Dan from Grafton.
Dan from Grafton is now
Home
on
of
line.
fine correctional institutions.
So does that mean Jerry from Cleveland is on line 2 then?
Just go ahead, Dan.
Dan, what do you got?
My question is, I got two of them,
Sure.
actually. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been rolling out, has-beens and, older, washed-up quarterbacks here recently, and they've been, winning enough games to possibly get into the playoffs, but then they get bounced out in the first round. Why would we want to do the same thing with Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett?
Well, I'll tell you this, because it's been such a great storied history of our franchise making it to the playoffs. And I may have actually sat next to you at that home playoff game because it was so sweet. And I just really enjoyed it. We have sucked, man. Let's get there, and then let's worry about the little things. And the Steelers have 6 Super Bowl rings. We have none. Let's strive for at least one, and I'm not going to sit here and worry about the fact whether, they're young, they're old, whatever. Let's get there and try to get one now. I can't complain about things that we –
So Andy, you would go to a big, try to test drive a Bugatti Veyron, knowing that you can never buy it, just to test drive it. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's not true. I just don't care about the car. I'd be happy with my Ford because that's the kind of guy I am, man.
Here's the thought, though.
Yeah.
Dan, I think you're in agreement with me.
I can't like these people that think that
it's this.
Here you go. Like we can't be satisfied with one.
What makes you think Joe Flacco is going to be the winning quarterback of the team? That's
what
the
makes
thing
you
to
think
me.
any of these 4 guys are going to be
not.
the winner?
So if I'm going to lose games, I don't want to do it with a 40-year-old quarterback.
Here is the one thing I will die on, and I will say this 1,000 times over. For as bad as our team and our franchise has been, I 100% believe this to my core that locker room in Berea has never been better since maybe the Bernie days than when Joe was there.
And that locker room has changed
a little bit. He talked about it. No, he talked about it. Some of that locker room's still there.
Yeah,
he gets it, but he understands what it takes to be in a winning locker room. Well, tell me anybody else. Give me
Kenny
more.
Pickett.
Okay, but what? Come on. But Kenny
won a
Super
Super Bowl last year.
And I don't want to belittle Kenny because he could be the starting quarterback. And if he can help us win a Super Bowl, I'm all in. But give Flacco a little credit here. Can we stop bashing him?
We're not bashing him.
No, it's he's too old. He had too many turnovers in there. He had a great 5-game stretch here and blah, blah,
Super
blah.
Bowl and the 40-year-old quarterback who hasn't done anything in 5 years.
Jeff,
you just said it, Andy.
Well, I'm saying
you
that we
just said
I'm talking about the Steelers winning 6 Super Bowls.
And you said, can't we have a chance to win big?
Can we have a chance?
But not with him.
So you're saying it's over. If they let Flacco start the beginning of the season, no chance, they can't win. Forget about it.
Can't win a Super Bowl, no. But they're not going to win a Super Bowl with anybody. Absolutely.
You'll buy steak dinners for everybody here if they win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. If they don't.
All right. I don't even realize who this is. Is this Dan and Fran? Who is this? Who is on the line?
This would be Jerry.
I don't know how you know that, but okay, go ahead, Jerry.
I just wanted to say, at best, Flacco would be, you're hoping he would be average.
Agreed, Jerry.
Jacoby Brissett, he might give you that. I would rather go with one of the younger guys
and lose. You're good with that.
Well, you lose with Flacco, but I'd rather go with one of the younger guys because you guys seem to think these quarterbacks we get are going to control everything. It's about fit. I believe that if we got Lamar Jackson at the time, when he came out, I don't think he'd have been as good as he was because people try and put a round peg into a square hole or a square peg into a round hole.
Either way.
And it's all about fit. And there's a reason they decided to get Kenny Pickett. I'm not saying Kenny Pickett's great, but I think they believe he fits the style that can work for them. So maybe he can be the Brock Purdy of the Cleveland Browns. And as far
but wait, does that mean so? But can he help us win 6? Because we can't. We're not. It's not good enough to just to be able to make it to the playoffs or win one Super Bowl. We have to have a quarterback that's going to be here for 7 years, which hasn't happened, right? We have to have a quarterback that can win multiple Super Bowls. We haven't won one. We haven't had a home playoff game since I was in elementary school or college.
You guys tend to put so much on the quarterback. There are 22 players on the team.
I agree with
Jerry,
you.
you're being
I agree with that.
You're being delusional now, guys.
No,
Take a
I
look around the
believe
league.
that.
Teams without
quarterback only
quarterbacks don't win.
controls so
Teams
much.
without quarterbacks don't win, Jerry.
Teams without defenses don't win either, Jeff. I mean,
we're not going to
okay,
get
let's
Patrick
go with that.
Mahomes. You know, I don't care who you bring in. You're not going to get Patrick Mahomes. And
Which you could have, by the way, but you didn't draft him.
yeah, and then you hurt my feelings once when you talked about the players we could have had in basketball.
I'm sorry,
there
Jerry.
you go. Thank you. Thanks, Jerry. Okay, thank you. All right. Let me ask, can I check first? Is this actually Jack in Macedonia? Jack, is this you?
Yes, it is.
All right, good. All right.
Good
now
to
we're
have
back
you
on
with
track.
us, Jack.
Hi, Jack. How are
Pride
you?
of Nordonia, Jack.
What's that?
It's
Just
Macedonia.
continue.
Nordonia is a school district.
Yeah, I know. He's the pride. Jack probably went to Nordonia, or his kids did.
Jack, where'd you go to school?
No, I went to Parma.
Oh, face.
And where'd your kids go to school?
Walsh.
Oh, very nice.
Double. Man, Jeff keeps he's rejection. It's like LeBron winning a championship. Keep going. What do you got, Jack?
Hey, I just had a quick thought. You're talking about the quarterback race and everything and the 4 quarterbacks. Is it possible that it's two different races, one for starter between Pickens and Flacco, and the loser's out? They cut the loser. And then the other two are battling for second and third string quarterback.
I believe that. I have no problem believing that. Jeff?
Could be.
So it really takes that 4 people talking about the 4 quarterbacks. It's really only 2 spots or 3 spots up between, 2 races.
Jack, it's as good a theory as any. That's all we have right now.
But Jack,
Theories.
that would leave us with how many quarterbacks to start the season? 3 or 4?
3. They'd keep
3.
one of them.
That's
3
I
and a
agree.
half.
Yeah.
3,
It's 3.5.
3.5 for the guy on IR. Good point. Thank you, Jack.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Appreciate you. Let's go one more here. Tom in Los Angeles.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey,
Tom.
good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I want Flacco, and the reason being is you're right. I mean, the guy's older. He's got the smarts. He probably doesn't have, well, of course he doesn't have the same skill as he did 5-10 years ago. But how many of these quarterbacks that have come in as rookies, they threw them into the fire, and it just really screwed with their confidence? Look at Justin Fields in Chicago, right? I mean, the guy just had a real bad go of it. And some of the other rookies, I don't want to bring up Couch, of course, but, he got thrown into in 0-16 team for 2 years in a row.
Tim got put in a bad
never the
spot.
same.
Deshaun Kaiser put in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Cody Kessler put in a bad spot. I mean,
Hugh Jackson.
We've done it a lot recently, Tom.
Yeah, so I think we have the talent with the young guys, but they need to learn. If they go in there and they get their head all screwed up, knowing they're going to get lit up and, they're failing, throwing picks and stuff, to come back around and rebuild that confidence is tough, right? Especially on a team that really is not supposed to even break even this year.
That's true.
So I go with Flacco. Flacco teaches them the ropes. They learn the game. And I think the Browns could still be okay.
All right. Thank you, Tom. It's funny. Flacco actually talked about some of that. If Flacco starts this year, is this a lost season?
In what regard?
That the fact is that they want to put out a guy that isn't here to win now or can't be here for a long time. That
Okay, all right, I see your parameters. Here's why it's a lost season.
There's one other thing that there's another nugget to this thing too, is that you drafted 2 quarterbacks, and to me, if the rookies don't get on the field at some point, again, I'm expecting 2 quarterbacks to start at any point during the season because it's 17 games. But if one of those rookies doesn't get on the field this year, that the draft feels like it was a waste, especially if you're going to draft another quarterback next year. That's just that's the one undertone I have.
You didn't draft the quarterbacks in rounds 1 and 2, so I that doesn't bother me much.
Okay,
I would say if Flacco starts, it's not a waste of a season because you never know what could happen. But what it would mean to me is, oh boy, one of these 3 younger guys couldn't beat out Joe Flacco. Okay. But because I'm holding out some hope that maybe you find somebody who can be a part of this football team for a long time, preferably as a starting quarterback, and if not, as a key backup. If you had a good backup quarterback, that'd be great. And so that's why and it's nothing against Joe personally. It's just that I don't need to see a 40-year-old starting at quarterback unless he's clearly the best guy we have. And I hope that one of the three young guys, and I don't care which one it is, shows that he's the best guy that we have, because it might give you a little more hope moving forward.
Daniel is calling from Joe Flacco's old team, The Couch. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Daniel.
All right. How about yourself, gentlemen? Thanks
Good.
for having me.
Hey, can you take us off speakerphone before you go?
We want
I got
your
you
dulcet tones to just
we want to be able to hear you.
The speakers.
Okay. 1 second. Hold on.
I know this feeling. Don't you? I have this conversation all the time.
All right, I don't want to miss my opportunity. Can you hear me
There you
better?
go. That's
Nah,
much
you
better.
sound great.
You sound so much better.
Yeah, you sound better than both of us.
I love it, man. Thank you. Thanks for helping me out, fellas.
You got
Okay,
it.
so here's my take on it. I'm with I don't really care how old Joe Flacco is. I always believe this is wisdom before age. This man has proven himself to have some type of longevity in the league. Okay. And it's only fair to the veterans that are still on our team to put us in the best position to win games. It was great when we went 11-6 last year with this aging quarterback. But my whole thing is, I don't care how old our quarterback is, as long as he can go out there, he can produce, give us good results, put wins up on the board. That helps keep the momentum going for the new guys and the veterans to stick around, so that way they don't have to take the vet minimum and go play for the Chiefs somewhere. So I don't really care how old the quarterback is. I'm rooting for some of the younger guys, because you got 2 Super Bowl proven quarterbacks on our team. So the other young guys should be able to, put in their own due diligence, to fight for that number 1 spot or number 2 spot, just in case anything was to happen for real. Like, I just want us to win. Like, I remember Jeff was saying just the Pittsburgh Steelers got 6 Super Bowl rings.
Yes.
And I've been, as long as I've been watching, we haven't won. We've had good seasons, we've had terrible seasons, but I only care about us winning 1. It's the same way when the Cavs was going through all of that before we got LeBron. We kept trying to get there and there was nothing happening. He came back. Just get us 1. Just get us 1. We can figure out everything else later.
Daniel.
Good stuff, Daniel. Thank you.
I
Appreciate y'all.
Guys, I just hope that one of the young guys steps up and is really good. That's what I'm hoping for. Joe, since he left Baltimore, has a record of 10-19 in games where he was the quarterback of record. I just don't think that Joe's going to get you wins. If he turns out to be and I mean wins in a big way, if he turns out to be the best quarterback in camp, then he should be the starter. But I sure hope he's not, because I hope one of the young guys is better. And Joe, since he left Baltimore, other than 5 games here, has not been great. He was 3-4 last year in the games that mattered in Indianapolis that he was the main guy in. And Anthony Richardson, who everybody thinks stinks, was 5-5 for whatever that's worth. And Joe's wins came against a Tennessee team that ended up with the number 1 pick in the draft, one against Jacksonville, who ended up with the 5th overall pick in the draft. And they were 4-13 at the time that Joe Flacco beat him. And then Joe lost to the Giants, who were 3-14 overall. And so if Joe ends up being the best quarterback out of this camp, he deserves to be the starter for the Browns. But I think if that happens, it clearly says, okay, and who are they taking in 2026? Which might be the case anyway. But I think the young guys give you a chance to maybe think we have somebody who can play the quarterback position moving forward. Hopefully as a starter, if not as a backup.
I'm just waiting week 7 when Deshaun Watson's starting, and we're all sitting here going, I can't believe we're down this road again.
Who do you think ends up starting the most games at quarterback for the Browns this year?
This season?
Rather than week 1?
Yeah.
I think that's the question.
Who's going to start the most games for the Browns this season?
Who's going to be their starting quarterback for the majority of their games this year?
Dylan Gabriel.
I think that's a possibility. If it's not Dylan, I think it's Kenny Pickett, even if Joe starts week 1.
So if you
Andy,
ask me the way I think it's
I would love to see Dylan Gabriel be the starter.
I think just the way it's going to play out is that, and I think that Joe's going to end up getting traded right before the season starts. Kenny will start,
or right before the trade deadline.
No, it'll be before the season starts. I think that there is going to be another team that is going to be in a position where they may give you. I don't even want to say what round. I just think people are going to be looking at the Browns saying, are they choosing between Pickett and Flacco, knowing that they have two rookies that they still want to keep on the roster? And no one in their right mind wants to keep three guys on a roster that they know can't play or won't be allowed to be technically on a field if your starting quarterback is there. So this is why I'm so vehement about three quarterbacks. And I'm also not giving you names on that. Today I will. Here, I'll tell you this. I think Flacco gets traded or ends up on the coaching staff, retires. I could see that happening too. And then I also see Pickett starting and then Gabriel at some point coming in if Pickett gets hurt.
Give me two guys that you would like to make sure are on this team all year.
You mean
At quarterback?
At quarterback?
Two guys.
Sanders and Gabriel. I want both those guys on the team all year.
I'm sorry. Can I give you a hug?
Why?
You and I agree on something at quarterback.
Well, it's not that I don't disagree, but I also think,
ladies and gentlemen, Andy Baskin.
But what you're going to hate is the scenario that says Deshaun Watson's going to be the starting quarterback late in the season, and Gabriel and Sanders are still both on the roster.
You know, the one thing about Deshaun, let's not be delusional. If he's healthy late in the year, there is the chance that happens. I'm hard pressed to think that he's going to be back from that injury. I mean, he tore it twice.
I know.
You know, I mean, it's in all fairness to Deshaun, and you know his record here as a starting quarterback hasn't been good. It's been bad. He was a phenomenal quarterback in Houston. I'm hard pressed to think he's back healthy and good to play football this year.
Return on investment.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's I'm hard pressed to think he's going to be healthy enough. I don't know about that.